Hi, everyone. Welcome to Curated by Becta's Meal Kit number 145 for April 20th to the 22nd. Thanks for ordering this week, and thanks for letting us be a part of this special celebration at home. And thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate when you guys watch the video and see how this is done. It makes me really happy every week. Looking forward to this and sharing this with you. So thanks. We've got a really easy menu for you tonight because there's no oven involved. There's only a couple pans to wash up. So why don't we go ahead and get started? First thing, sweet potato puree goes on the stove in a pot on medium-low heat, and you can just leave that bubbling away. We want to get our cast iron or heavy bottom pan nice and hot. I'm going to do it on the convection tonight because this pan doesn't work on the convection oven. You want 1 tablespoon of neutral oil, in my case grapeseed oil, per person for that. And I'm warming up this guy, so I might as well do the same for this guy for our mushrooms, but I'm going to sear the steak first. That's nice and hot. So I've taken the steak out of the sous vide bat and I've patted it dry. I'm going to turn the hood fan on a little bit so that we don't smoke the place out. Get that right in there. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually jump to my appetizer because we've got this lovely Caesar dressing. Make sure to get all of that deliciousness and spread it out in the bowl. Nice big mixing bowl with some good tongs. And then the capers are also going to go in there. And there's a little bit of caper juice. And you want to squeeze the lemon in there as well. The acid is going to do really well to break down the kale. And then hit it with some salt and pepper as well. By the way, the steak, 90 seconds per side. Let me double check that. Yes, 90 seconds per side. Let me make sure I'm not burning it. We're doing well. I'm going to switch that up in the pan. Okay. Now, make sure to dress the salad early so that the dressing and the acid and the salt can break down the kale so that it is a little more tender. Well, we got a runaway piece of kale there. While I'm doing that, it's time to switch this guy over. I think it was actually the flank steak last time that set off our smoke detector. So make sure to put your hood fan on, and I will add that to the instructions. So with the Caesar, do what they do at like Sweetgreen in the States, where you use the tongs sort of an up and down motion to be able to get all of the salad really nicely dressed. Okay, so the mushrooms are going to need 8 minutes in total of cooking time. Let me get it to medium-high heat. And as soon as that is, then the mushrooms go in there. This is going to be a pretty quick video, all things considered. Okay, so with the steak, and then we're going to melt 1 tablespoon of butter, unsalted butter, in there per portion. You can turn the, turn that up a little bit. You're going to turn the heat down a little bit. And once the butter melts, my hood fan is really kicked on. Hopefully you guys can hear me. This is where my convection oven is going to beep at me. Yep, I know. 30 seconds per side, and we're going to do the butter basting. And this is great for any steaks, not just for our curated steaks. This is really what gives them that luxurious quality that you find in restaurants and oftentimes not in steaks at home. And the other big steak secret, for those of you who have not watched these videos before or don't know, when you rest any piece of meat, any piece of fish even, then the juices go back to the inside and it makes it more tender. So not as hot, but I promise you it is a whole lot tastier than if you did it without. Okay, so we butter basted the steaks for 30 seconds aside. I can turn that guy off. And the steaks are going to go on a cookie rack. It's going to rest for 5 minutes. I'm going to leave the brown butter or the butter there because I can dredge the steaks through there just before I slice them. Sweet potato, doing well. I can probably turn the heat down on that guy a little bit. Okay, this is hot enough. Mushrooms, I might have to cheat it because the steaks, I don't want to be dead cold by the time I plate it. And I can turn the hood fan off now. The bok choy is there. Got my butter. Okay, our salad is ready to go. It's gotten a little bit of marinade. By the way, let's have some wine because it's Wednesday. I'm a big fan of this one. We featured it on the curated menus before. This is a Falanghina from the Campania region of Italy. And it's just so bright, citrusy, nutty, has a little bit of minerality and brininess. And I love it. And it's going to go great with the kale salad this week. It's funny, looking back, we've done 145 of these regular meal kits and then 23 big night ins and a few special things. So we're at about 200 meal kits at this point, different ones. And that's like 400 different wine pairings. We've repeated a few times, but they're pretty unique in terms of what they are. And I hope you guys have really enjoyed them because I love picking out the wine pairings every week. So, good amount of salt and pepper on this, and that will release the butter, or sorry, the water from the mushrooms. So you can saute that up nicely, and we're going to add the butter next, unsalted. But let's take a minute and garnish up our salads. So we've got some focaccia croutons that we baked fresh today. Too bad our son is not home for dinner. I mean, he's going to get some leftovers, but he's not going to eat it fresh. And that's too bad because he would love all of this stuff. He's doing a play. He's doing all the AV for the play for his school. And it keeps him very busy right now, but he loves it. Okay, so after the sourdough croutons, we've got the lardon or the country bacon, which made our kitchen smell beautiful today. There's nothing quite like the smell of fresh cured bacon. So a lot of ramekins today. Make sure you recycle them. Like we do here. Give the mushrooms a little toss. I think they're probably close, so I'm throwing the butter in now. And as soon as that melts a little bit, we're going to throw the bok choy in. Don't forget to stir your sweet potato. And next we've got our Parmesan. This is probably a lot. Probably cut this back a little bit because you only really need 1 ounce per person. You don't want it to be a Parmesan salad with a little bit of kale. You want this to be a kale salad with a little Parmesan. And then, of course, top it with fresh dill. That really makes it pop, especially with this Falanghina. It'll bring out the herbal quality in it. All right, there we go. Our kale Caesar salad with the lardon, the Parmesan, the fresh dill, Caesar dressing, focaccia croutons, and capers. Move this along. For those of you who watched this before, I hope you like my new setup. I moved everything down, wine glasses out front, so you can see more of the plating. Now the bok choy goes in here. They also sent me a little too much bok choy, but that's okay. Our son needs the vegetables, but you will get a little bit less than I have because there is a lot of bok choy. So I can move that along. You should have 2 slivers of brown butter, almost like compound butter, and they should be about 1 centimeter thick, and we're going to put that on the steak when just before slicing. Oh yeah, I need to plate my dessert. Make sure that you bring the dessert up to room temperature. Let me move the wine along here. This is our chocolate brownie. I got my spoon here for my dulce de leche. You can just do a nice cannella on top. My son's going to lick that spoon later on. And then our espresso crumble. Make sure to get it all in there. It's nice and beautiful. Chocolate brownie, dulce de leche, caramel, salted dulce de leche caramel, and espresso crumble. Okay, the veg is getting very close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my steaks and very quickly run it through the butter in there to both warm it up and to give it a little more deliciousness. Now, don't let me forget about the seasoning because I haven't seasoned these steaks at all. The marinade has some soy sauce in it. So flank steak, it's super easy. You see the grains in it and we want to cut against the grain. And then you can flip over the last piece so that it's all nice and medium rare here. And if you guys like it a little more well done than medium rare, then I would just leave it for another, 30 to 60 seconds per degree of doneness in the pan. I'd probably say 60 seconds. Okay, so fan it out a little bit and hit it with some salt and pepper. Make sure your veg is being done nicely. Okay, we've done the salt, we've done the pepper, and this is where we put the compound butter on top, the brown butter, and it's going to sort of melt away. And so why don't we go ahead and start plating? Sweet potato puree. Yes, the evil induction burner beeping. Oh, I didn't tell you about the red wine tonight. So we've got a Cabernet Sauvignon from California from the Precision Wine Co. And it's something close to my heart because it's called Introvert. And I secretly am an introvert at heart, believe it or not. That's why I like these videos, because I get to connect with you guys, but I don't have to be a room and 100 people on Wednesday nights. So just drag your spatula through there so you can see it. This guy is looking good. I need some more tongs. I need 2 pairs of tongs here. So you really only need, I'm going to alternate. So 3 bok choy per person. We have more. I'm just going to keep it on the side for our son. Working so hard. Actually, that's exactly what they sent me, was 3 per person. Maybe they were just really big. And then we've got the mushrooms. Make sure to spread them out so that you can see them on the side because the steak is going to go on top. Looking good. Everything off, perfect. And now let's see which one looks the best. When I spread it out, probably that one. Looking good. So our lovely marinated seared flank steak with the baby bok choy, the roasted mushrooms, the sweet potato puree, and the brown butter on top. So enjoy it. Thanks for ordering. Thanks for watching. I hope we get to cook and curate for you again really soon, but I hope you love your meal. Cheers and enjoy.